Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brown Nicole. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. So in today's video, we are on episode 3 of my Healing Diaries. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about learning or how I learned to trust God again after a heartbreak. And I'm just going to dive into that, and I will give you guys a recap, obviously, of episode 2. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the video. Alright, y'all, so episode 2, I kind of just talked on why I stayed as long as I did. The red flags, I think, again, I went more in depth about red flags that happened. In today's video, so that's like my recap for episode 2. In today's video, I'm going to talk about learning to trust God again after heartbreak. So it's not that I didn't trust him anymore. It was just like, it was getting frustrating type of thing, because I would spend a lot of time praying for my relationship. Like, I would pray for it every single day, every single morning, every single night. I was praying for my relationship, because especially when I mentioned to you guys the dreams that I was having, around that time is when I like started praying. Then after that, I continued praying and praying and praying and praying and praying so we were done. So from that moment that I found out, from that moment that I had those dreams, that was before I even found out, I was praying for my relationship, not knowing what was even going on behind the scenes for real. So about like a month or so later. So I for sure was trying my best to trust God in the whole thing, but it did start to become really difficult when it's like this person is not acting like they like me, like, at all. So, and it wasn't all the time. It wasn't all the time. So don't get me wrong, like, there were moments that it was like, I feel like this person likes me, I feel like this person loves me, I feel like this person would hurt me, but clearly I was wrong. So, like, it is what it is. Nobody talks about, though, like, how hard it is to trust God again after you've been disappointed. This is where it comes in. Like, you cannot put all of your faith in humans, because if you do, you're gonna get hurt every single time. As things were going on and happening, I did try my absolute best to trust God and trust his timing and trust whatever his plan was, even if it was hurting me. So I did take time to pray for my relationship a lot of the times where I felt like things were not going good. We even prayed together at times, which also had me like questioning, like, is God hearing us? Is God like there? Because we also did pray a lot, but I explain it without it sounding like really bad. I don't know, like, because technically, like, we're not married. So to be honest, I don't even know if this really applies. Like, we weren't married, so I don't even know if this really applies to our situation. But I do know for a fact that for men, if you, I guess maybe it only is if you're married, but I took it as though, like, we're in a relationship, we're taking this seriously, we're praying to God. Like, I feel like it should probably reflect the same thing. So basically, you're married, you're praying, you as a man are praying to God about whatever, and he's not hearing you because you don't respect your wife or your girl or whoever. And that's how I was like seeing it. Even though we weren't married, that's how I was seeing it. So I don't know if that's like, if that applies to couples or if that only applies to married couples, but I just feel as though it wasn't being like, it wasn't getting through because he wasn't like respecting me, and he was kind of just going with the flow of things, kind of, and not really like putting his all into like our relationship. So yeah, that's why I feel like God didn't really like hear us, if that makes sense. I do feel as though, because I was like praying so much, I was in my Bible, like, I was doing the things that I felt like I needed to do to get closer to God and to understand like discernment and who's for me and who's not for me type of thing. So as we're ending like the end of the Healing Diaries, I do want to like bring to light that towards the so I'm gonna give you guys like a little backstory on like how it ended, like the day that it ended, and then like the days after, and what that looked like for me. And this does tie into me learning to trust God again, because the first week that this happened, like the first day that we were like done, I was a mess. I was crying a lot. I was questioning God, like, why is this happening to me? Like, I'm such a good person. I care for this person. I love this person. I would never hurt this person. And I would do everything, like I would do anything for this person. So why is this happening to me? Like I'm so good to this person. Why is this happening to me? So it was a lot of that, like me crying, me only on TikTok, trying to like understand this person. A lot of the traits that this person had was narcissistic. I don't like to throw that word around just because like people say that a lot about everybody, not really even understanding the real meaning of it. So I personally, I do understand the real meaning of it. I do have a bachelor's in psychology, so it's not like the first time that I've ever heard this, but I was never the type to just throw that word around. So I say all that to say, I was trying to just figure out, like I was on TikTok just like watching a whole bunch of stuff, relatable content that was like kind of helping me like just accept the fact that this person is just not for me, along with praying and just being at my word, and just like, and it was a lot of like biblical TikToks that I was watching too. It wasn't just that. I kept doing that. Like I kept praying, I kept crying, I kept listening to gospel music. Like I was doing everything I possibly could to just get out of it. But it's like at the same time, I had to sit in those feelings. I had to cry. I had to do what I had to do to not feel this way anymore and to not think about it anymore. So after a couple of days, that's when I decided that I'm gonna block this person, because there were moments where I was weak and I would go to their page and I would be close to texting them again or trying to call them again. So I decided like I can't do this. Like I have to block them in order to keep myself from, you know, trying to engage with them when I know that this person is just, we're done. And even if they weren't done, I need it to be done, because I can't keep doing the back and forth and on and off and all that. So yeah, I blocked them, and I don't know if they blocked me. If they did, cool. If they didn't, whatever. Like it doesn't matter to me, but I just felt like that was something I needed to do. And normally I'm not the type to just block you. But yeah, so days after that, I was seeing like a lot of stuff like, oh, like they're always gonna come back type of thing. I don't want that. I'm not gonna lie, don't want it. But so I was talking to God, and I was like, if in my head, I'm like, if this person does come back, I don't want to accept them back knowing that they're not for me. So I needed to know. So for me to know, I decided to ask God. And the first day I did this, right? So I don't know if you guys have heard of people like I guess testing God would be the right terminology, but I don't know if you guys ever heard of people like saying like, oh, God, if this person is my husband, show me whatever. Or if this is the job for me, make it rain harder, or make it thunder, or make whatever. I don't know if you guys heard of people doing that. So I decided to do that. Also, there's an example that was given at church last Sunday. There's like this person that didn't believe in God, and they were like, God, if you're real, like wake me up at 3 a.m. type of thing. God woke that person up at 3 a.m. Like for like 3 or 4 days in a row, they were doing that until they had like an encounter with God. So I did this, right? So I told God, if this person is my husband, or I think I said, if this person is not my husband, show me a Cybertruck on my way home, right? So it was the morning when I said this, just to like let the day go and to not like think about it anymore, right? Because I didn't want to be like, oh God, show me a yellow car, like, and now I'm here looking for a yellow car, right? So I get off of work, I'm driving home, I'm like to the light, like, mind you, it takes me 25 minutes to get home, sometimes longer, 25-ish minutes to get home from work. So I'm driving, I'm at the light right before I pull into my development. Haven't seen a Cybertruck yet, so I'm like, okay, like, you're not gonna answer me? Fine. But nah. So as soon as that light turns green, I see a Cybertruck passing my neighborhood. I'm like, okay, so this person is not my husband. Okay, cool. So that was like the answer that I needed, just for me to be like, okay, I want to move on. Because, or not even that, because say God did tell me like, okay, this is your husband, I'm not going to reach out, I'm not going to go tell them. I would have just, kept it to myself, and I would have just kept going on about my life until that person came back, right? But just in my head, the thought of knowing like this person could potentially try to come back, because this is what they do. They break up with me, they take time away, and then they come back. They've done it like 4 or 5 times in our whole relationship. So in my mind, I'm like, this person could come back, but I don't want to keep playing this game. So that's why I was talking to God and like saying like, I want to know. So God gave me that answer, and I left it at that. Like, now I know that if this person does come back, I'm not moving forward with them. It's not going to happen, because I want to be married. Like, I want to be married. I want to have kids. I want the whole thing. I'm 28 years old. So in my eyes, I don't really want to waste any more time for real. So just knowing that that person is not for me just, wipes it clear, and now I can move on. That's my little story time about how I, decided to just be done completely with that. And that in itself brought my trust back to God completely. I trust him with everything in me, because I know if he can tell me that means he has somebody for me. That means he's got this. I don't need to worry about nothing. Like, nothing. Like, God has it in the bag for me. So that is another story. I actually told my best friend that. I don't think I really told. I told my best friend, 2 of my best friends, and then my best friend's girlfriend. I told them. So 3 people know about it, but that in itself, though it didn't scare me, but it's like, God is amazing. He's amazing. Like, he is beyond amazing. So that made me believe God is not just doing this to, hurt me or anything crazy. Like, God would never do that. He obviously has something way better for me, and I just have to be patient enough to receive it. So even during the times where I felt distant, I still was going to church. Not distant, but felt like God wasn't really like hearing me because of all the prayers I was praying with that man and by myself, trying to fix our relationship. So I was still going to church. I was still praying. I was still going to my community group. I was doing everything. I was still talking to God. I was still reading my Bible. I wasn't just neglecting God because I thought that he wasn't hearing my prayers. And that is one thing that, like, I do know for a fact people go through. Like, people will literally not believe in God anymore if something bad happens to them. right? And like, we're all human. We all live on earth. Like, you're not going to have perfect days every single day. Matter of fact, you're never going to have a perfect day, but you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. That's just a part of life, whether you're a Christian or not. So, or whether you believe in God or not. Just because you believe in God and trust in God doesn't mean that you're not going to have bad days. And that is something that I knew. So I didn't like hold it against God, for real. So, and as I shouldn't, because why would you do that? It takes you basically knowing or realizing that he's not the one that caused the pain. Humans are the ones that are causing the pain. God is right there walking with you. He will allow you to go through it. He will allow you to feel the pain so that you will lean on him. And that is how it's supposed to go. And that's the thing too. Like, I don't only lean on God when I'm upset. I lean on God when I'm happy. I lean on God when I'm excited. I lean on God when I'm crying. I lean on God when I'm happy, laughing, whatever. I'm always coming to God, thanking God, praising God for any and everything. Even if it doesn't go good, thank you, God, that it didn't go good. Still, like, you want to make sure that you are always thanking him no matter how it goes. And just understanding free will. Like, although people can say they believe in God or whatever the case may be, they can still hurt you because they have the free will to do that. Just because they are good people, that doesn't mean that they won't hurt you. Like, it's inevitable. Like, you cannot beat around that. It's gonna happen regardless. But God is always gonna protect you, even when getting hurt, even when somebody's hurting you. God is always going to protect you, and God is always going to move you forward, as long as you're trusting in him, as long as you're talking to him, as long as you're reading his word, as long as you are all about him. He's going to be all about you. I want to touch on just practical things though. So trusting God does not mean that you should ignore red flags. Trusting God does not mean that you should be rushing love. Trusting God means peace over attachment. So for me, I explained this to you guys in episode 2 about like being attached to that person. No. I would be attached to that person, but then be crying 2 seconds later. So you want to definitely have peace over attachment. And then definitely let God lead without forcing the outcome. So don't try to manipulate or try to figure out whatever is going on with that person. Let God do that. Let God come to you and tell you what's up, and then you go from there. Always move through God. So if you're feeling distant from God, if you're scared to pray, if you're feeling disappointed, confused, or guarded, don't. Let it all go. Talk to God. He will literally save you from all of that. There's no reason to be afraid of him. Fear God, but don't fear God, if that makes sense. Love him. Allow him to come into your life and to, speak through you and to give you discernment for the things that you should and should not be accepting in your life. You don't have to force trust. God is patient with your healing. He's not going to force you to be better tomorrow. Although for me, I wasn't better like the next day. It took like maybe like a week or so. But I would say that I definitely was able to move on a little bit faster. And I feel like it is because I was in my word, and it is because I was given that answer that just told me he told me this is not my husband. And that just, solidified it for me. And let me say this too, along with like the story that I told you guys about the Cybertruck. When Cybertrucks first came out, right, I was seeing them a lot. Like, I was seeing them so much, especially in this area. Then as time started going on, I did not see them as much. So that's why I chose a Cybertruck, because I knew it would probably not be likely that I would see one. And like I said, I didn't see it until I was literally about to pull into my complex. So for anybody who might think like, oh, that's just like a coincidence, no, it for sure was God, and that is what it is. And for the people who don't believe, definitely try that out. Try that out. Tell me how that goes. Even if you do believe, try that out. God will show you who he is immediately, because there's no reason why he wouldn't. So yeah, I needed that, and I'm just happy that God did that for me. And yeah, so that is the end of episode 3. We just talked about me learning to trust God again after a heartbreak. And yeah, I'm just praying that there are no more heartbreaks, because I'm not going to even get to that point if I see a red flag or anything. So make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.